You've probably heard the phrase, "You are what you believe." What if you could shift your mindset and start believing you're destined for greatness? Welcome back to another episode of Aspire with the Florises, where today we dive into You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero, a no-nonsense guide to self-empowerment. If you're looking to kick self-doubt to the curb and start living life on your terms, stick around because this audiobook might just be the wake-up call you've been waiting for. Sincero's You Are a Badass is more than just a self-help audiobook. It's a powerful call to action. It's about recognizing that we hold the key to our own success and happiness. Whether you're stuck in a dead-end job, struggling with self-worth, or constantly putting off your dreams, this audiobook is designed to help you unlock your inner badass. One of the biggest takeaways from this audiobook is understanding the concept of self-sabotage. Jen Sincero explains that the negative stories we tell ourselves hold us back more than we realize. Think about it. How many times have you stopped yourself from taking that next big step because you thought you weren't ready? Sincero encourages us to embrace the unknown. Stepping outside your comfort zone is scary, but it's also where growth happens. The path to becoming your best self involves facing discomfort and uncertainty. Growth isn't meant to be comfortable. It's meant to challenge you. Another practical tool she emphasizes is the use of daily affirmations. They may sound cheesy, but they work. By consciously speaking positive truths over your life, you're reprogramming your mind to believe in possibilities rather than limitations. Let's talk about mental blocks, those limiting beliefs that stop us from achieving greatness. Sincero's humorous approach shows that the only thing stopping you from living an extraordinary life is your belief that you're not capable of it. Sincero pushes us to take the leap. Whether it's in your career or personal development, she emphasizes that waiting for the perfect moment is a trap. There's no perfect moment, only the moment you decide to start. She's big on visualization and manifestation. This isn't just fluff, it's about knowing what you want and aligning your thoughts and actions to make it happen. It's about creating a mindset of success. Here's the bottom line. Living an extraordinary life isn't reserved for the few. It's about shifting your mindset, letting go of what's holding you back, and giving yourself permission to pursue what you really want. So if you're ready to step into your own power, give You Are a Badass a listen. It's filled with practical advice and motivational moments, all delivered with Jen Sincero's signature humor.
For my unfailingly sweet and supportive dad and brother Stephen. Even after all this time, the sun never says to the earth, "You owe me." Look what happens with a love like that. It lights the whole sky. Hafiz. From The Gift by Daniel Ladinsky. Copyright 1999 and used with permission. Forward. When I was 2 years old, I experienced something that blew my mind so massively that it changed the way I perceived the world from that moment forward. There I was, with a popsicle stick strapped to my head, wearing an orange sweatshirt featuring black felt eyes, a triangle nose, and a toothy grin, standing in front of some stranger's door and gripping my mother's leg as she rang the doorbell. I hadn't yet fully grasped the whole Halloween concept beyond the putting on a costume part, which seemed sensible to me for any occasion, and the strolling around our neighborhood part, which more or less described the extent of my travels at that point. I didn't know what we were doing standing in front of that house, and I wasn't terribly enthused about unfamiliar grown-ups, so when a strange lady wearing a witch hat opened the door, and I was instructed to say, "Trick or treat," and hold out my bag, I responded by burying my face into my mother's thigh. I heard the witch tell my brother she couldn't believe her luck at having Batman come to her door. I heard my mother explain to her that the pumpkin was shy around new people, and I felt my bag get yanked forward and several things drop into it. Moments later, once the door was closed and the coast was clear, I looked into my bag, and that's when the heavens parted, the angels sang out, and I burst into flames of incredulity. Candy? Candy? Candy just magically appears with no begging or crying or even doing as you're told? For the rest of the evening, as if in a dream, I floated from door to door, collecting more and more candy, hollering, "Trick or treat!" at the top of my lungs, and fearlessly shoving my bulging bag in the face of every unfamiliar grown-up behind every unfamiliar door. Halloween night, 1967, Westchester County, New York. My 2-foot-tall, big girl pull-ups diapers wearing self came to fully understand one of the most profound laws of the universe. Real live miracles happen right here on planet Earth. As I sit here, decades later, writing this new foreword for the 10th anniversary edition of You Are a Badass, I'm reminded that its success is nothing short of an unexpected, candy-caliber miracle. When I wrote this book all those many years ago, I hoped that it would at least garner the polite, seated applause that my first 2 books had enjoyed, and maybe even earn back my meager advance and get me on a few local TV shows. Never in a million years did I think that, among other things, it would still be relevant enough 10 years later to warrant an anniversary party, even though I know exactly what I'd wear should Oprah phone me up and ask me on her show. My story of going from being 40, broke, and living in a converted garage in an alley to using spiritual concepts to get over my money hangups and finally make a whole bunch of it inspired me to write this book. But it's the countless emails and videos and letters that I've received from people over the past decade that have kept me inspired, kept me walking my talk, suiting up in my writing uniform, known to some as a bathrobe, year after year, and sitting down to write the next badass book. In the 10 years since You Are a Badass was released, I've heard from countless people who've used what they've learned from it to manifest the things and experiences they put on their vision boards with hair-raising accuracy. Flying on the same private jet in the photo, buying the exact house they cut out, walking down the same beach they pictured with their soulmate. I've heard from a woman who went from being on food stamps for 8 years to making 7 figures after fully understanding that she was not a victim of circumstance, but rather could create whatever she wanted. Another woman turned her paralyzing grief over the death of a loved one into a life-changing relationship with herself, once she realized that the love she felt for that other person mirrored the love she could feel for herself. She's now not only no longer grieving, she's much more confident, creative, and full-on jolly most of the time. Then there are all those people who manifested the exact amount of money they needed, seemingly out of the blue, to buy the house, quit the soul-sucking job, shake the debt collectors off their legs, and finally get those bunions removed. And one guy went from being addicted to drugs, living on the street, and flirting with suicide, to speaking on stages all over the world, inspiring others to believe they can do it. We all need to keep our belief muscles strong. And how fortunate am I that my spiritual personal trainers just pop into my inbox in the form of reader testimonials every once in a while. Very, extremely, a lot fortunate. That's how fortunate. It's my hope that the ripple effects of these success stories, as well as your own tales of badassery, spread far and wide. Because aside from the fact that allowing yourself to be, do, and have what's in your heart is an awesome way to live your life, it also shows others what's possible for them too, and hopefully inspires them to get the fuck on the fuck while they still have an earthly fuck to get on. I really want to stress this here. Enjoying what you've created, having as much fun as you can, and giving your sweet self everything you desire and deserve is of utmost importance. It's why you're here. And I have yet to hear from someone sitting in the middle of her dream life who doesn't also rejoice over the positive effects her transformation has had on the people around her. Now that she's done struggling and no longer spreading herself thin or spending precious time feeling around under couch cushions for coins, she's able to contribute more value to causes beyond her own well-being. Hence, at this very pivotal point in human history where, in my opinion, we either evolve or perish, I can't think of anything more important than getting one's poop in a scoop and contributing to the greater good in whatever capacity one sees fit. I don't believe it's a coincidence, probably because I don't believe in coincidences, that at this critical point in time, the self-development industry itself is undergoing a massive transformation. Long associated with cheese and gooiness, the self-help world is now flirting with mainstream coolness, or at least it's not getting picked on quite as much anymore. The once syrupy genre is now full of, get the fuck out of my way this, and get your shit together that. Self-improvement gurus are going viral and getting TV specials, and all sorts of unlikely people, even the eye-rolliest of skeptics, can be found taping an affirmation or two to their mirrors or openly reading books like this on the subway. At this point in time, the self-improvement industry is reportedly worth over $10 billion and expected to continue rising steadily in popularity year after year. In short, people are taking their one and only ride on planet Earth more seriously than ever, and it couldn't be happening at a more perfect moment. I'm heartened by the fact that more and more humans, either consciously or unconsciously, are aware of this cosmic wake-up call and are feeling the pull to take care of themselves, each other, our animal friends, and our dear planet in ways we've never felt before. I find it extremely exciting to be alive right now. What an opportunity to put into practice the almighty tools of our minds and our hearts and see what we can get away with, to see how big a shift we can pull off. How cool, and honestly, not really all that hard, is it to remember that you have the power to choose where you place your focus, to take a breath before you respond rather than react, to listen to your thoughts, beliefs, and words.
If you're ready to tap into your inner badass, grab You Are a Badass using the affiliate link in the description. If this review resonated with you, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and share your thoughts in the comments. What's your next badass move?
Thank you for tuning in at Aspire with the Florises. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content.